David's story begins in 1983 in a suburban American town. David Rayner is yelling at his 8-year-old son Jake to wake up because he's late for school. When Jake doesn't respond, David checks on him and finds a troubling sight. Jake has stopped moving and is foaming at the mouth. David rushes him to the hospital and discovers that Jake is not the only child in this state. The hallway is full of parents carrying their children and trying to contact a doctor. According to the news, every child in the world under the age of 9 has fallen into a catatonic state. Reports from Asia, Australia, and Africa are pouring in, but even the smartest scientists have no idea what's happening. Chaos ensues as parents take to the streets to protest, not knowing what they're protesting against. Days turn into weeks, months, and years, but the children never return to normal. Every child born after 1983 is in the same condition, threatening the end of mankind. Several laws are formed to protect the rights of sick children and stop further procreation, causing global economic and social instability. The only movement the children make is intense seizures twice a day, at the same time every day. Science has no answers for the seizures, just as it has no answers for the entire plague. 10 years later, 8-year-old Jake is now an 18-year-old boy with no life inside him. He is fed and kept healthy, but David and other parents have given up hope. In David's town, the school is closed, and the gym is renovated into a hospital for children whose families can't care for them. The head doctor is Gene, who has an ex-husband, Tom. Tom went to jail for killing a man in a bar fight, losing his job and family. Recently released on parole, David lets him stay at his house, where Tom meets Jake. David has bought medical equipment for Jake's comfort. Tom comments on the cost, but David says nothing matters more than his son's happiness. David believes Jake can still understand what's happening around him. That evening, Tom meets Jean, who isn't happy to see him. They briefly talk before she asks him to stay away. Tom is still in love with her, but she sees him as a murderer. The next day, Tom visits his old mentor, the town sheriff, and sees 2 teenagers arrested for trespassing. 10 years ago, they narrowly avoided the catatonic state. While most such children are now in bigger cities making money, these 2 break into houses to talk to unconscious children, struggling mentally. Later, a doctor enters the gym for a regular checkup and is horrified to see the children conscious and staring at her. She freezes in shock until one girl attacks her. Back at the house, Tom wakes up to a state of emergency message on TV. He rushes upstairs to find Jake missing and discovers David dead in his room. Jake attacks Tom, but his childhood friend Sam arrives and hits Jake with a tire iron, throwing him out the window. Sam reveals that the awoken children are killing adults, and no one knows what they want, but people are dying rapidly. They remember Jean working a night shift, meaning she's surrounded by sick children. They quickly head outside, but are approached by Jake again. At first, he tries to attack them but stops and falls unconscious. After that, Tom and Sam drive to the school. The first body they find is a nurse with a deformed face. While climbing the stairs, they are attacked by the kids, who try to grab their faces for some reason. They are then saved by the 2 teens Tom saw at the police station earlier. They introduce themselves as Kip and Claire. The kids think Kip and Claire are one of them, which is how they have survived. Tom asks them to leave the city quickly while he and Sam continue looking for Jean. In the hallways, they almost get spotted by a horde of killers but manage to hide in a room with locked doors. They find a group of 8 survivors waiting for help, unaware that no one in the town, including the police, is safe. Tom learns that Jean went up a vent to get medicine for an injured survivor. He follows her, asking Sam to take care of the others. Minutes later, Sam hears someone breaking the door. He panics and asks the group to go down the laundry chute. They make a rope out of bed sheets and climb down one after another. Sam goes last, but hears the others screaming in pain halfway through. Realizing they have been attacked, he climbs back up and onto the bed sheets. He sees a nurse trying to climb up the chute, but she falls because of his mistake. Everything goes quiet before Sam sees a guy inside the room. Meanwhile, Tom is crawling through the vent when he encounters another kid. He is about to be attacked, but Jean arrives just in time to save him. They both exit the vents and decide to return to the others. Upon reaching the room, they see Sam with a bloodied weapon and no survivors. Jean is heartbroken because they were all her colleagues. Tom calms her down before the 3 make their way outside. In the hallways, they are joined by Kip and Claire. They meet the sheriff looking for survivors. Suddenly, a panicking guard attacks Claire, assuming she is one of the children. Before he calms down, the children drag him away, and the others run to the door. Outside, The sheriff's wife Nora and the deputy wait for the survivors. When they are distracted, the children attack. The others arrive just in time and manage to free them. Amid the chaos, Claire is left behind with the children while the others drive away. Kip is worried but hopeful the children won't realize she is human. The group stops at a church, where Jean treats Sam's injured leg. He yells in pain until she gives him drugs to make him sleep. While everyone stays in a safe room, Tom checks the church for more children. In the chapel, he is attacked by a girl. The sheriff runs to help and is shocked to see it's his daughter. His wife Nora weakens at the sight, and instead of killing the girl, they tie her hands to the railings. Kip finds a pastor's journal with interesting entries about his dreams. Hours later, they see the pastor outside, swarmed by children. They hold him down, and a kid touches his face, killing him. Before dying, the pastor says he is not ready, hinting he knows something others don't. Kip shows the journal to Tom, who reads the last entry. The pastor predicted his death, saying his soul was taken by children through his face. He also wrote a line roughly translating to, "The children give what they receive." They can't decipher its meaning, but Tom keeps the page for future use. Meanwhile, Nora sees her daughter tearing up and believes she has turned back to normal. She quickly aunties her, only to be attacked and killed brutally. The sheriff finds the scene, his heart dropping. He shoots his daughter before she can cause more harm and commits the unthinkable. In the morning, Claire is still alive. She goes home and finds her mother's body in the bathtub with her face crushed. In the meantime, the group learns about an army base near their town, their only hope for survival. They pack up and go outside, but find a broken car. The children are getting smarter and have learned to disable car engines. They've done this to every car in the neighborhood, so Tom has to find another way to escape. He remembers David had a car in his garage that might still work. Since Sam can't walk, he and the deputies stay at the church while the others go to David's house. They arrive safely but find a girl in the front yard, armed and knowing how to use the gun. Suddenly, Claire appears and kills the girl. She reveals that the children are learning new skills and most now have guns. Back at the church, a horde of children attacks Sam and the deputy. Later, the group returns to find their dead bodies. Jean kneels by her brother and sobs, then quickly stands, driven by the will to kill the children. On their drive to the town's border, Jean's stiff demeanor is noticeable. When distracted, two guys fire at the car, flattening the tires and halting them in the line of fire. Tom asks everyone to stay down, but Jean doesn't listen. She exits the car and ambushes both enemies, continuing to fight even after they are dead, while the others watch in concern. Now out of bullets, Jean wants to return to the police station for more. Tom argues that guns aren't needed at the army base, but Jean is adamant and heads to the police station. Kip and Claire join her, leaving Tom alone. He walks towards the army base, then sits to read the pastor's note again. He realizes the children are sucking out souls, but the solution isn't clear. Meanwhile, at the police station, they find two children gathering weapons. Claire, unsuspected by the children, goes inside to steal guns. The others wait until they hear a gunshot. Kip runs to Claire, finds her shot, kills a man, but is shot too. They sit beside each other until they die. Tom arrives and finds a frantic Jean in the hallways. She is paranoid, thinking the children have surrounded her. Tom gently calms her before they go outside. Without a vehicle, they are soon surrounded by children. Tom makes Jean kneel and remember her happiest moment. While she does, he walks to a child and says he is ready. Tom has figured out that the children reflect the emotion shown to them. When you give them fear and anger, they return the same. Seconds later, Jean opens her eyes and finds herself alone. In the last scene, she reads the pastor's note while enjoying a beautiful day outside her house. Seeing the children surround her house again, she simply goes inside, leaving the door open as a sign of trust. Subscribe for more videos, turn on notifications, and leave a like to support the channel. Thank you for watching.